For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4all.podcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com. Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 99. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always, my good friends
James Craigie
and
Michelle Barry.
Okay, well, we've almost reached our last episode.
Episode 99.
Scary shit, right? Scary. It's coming around real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically how this is going to work, this is going to be kind of our last normal episode, as I like to put it, as far as structure-wise.
As normal as our episodes are. Yeah,
yeah, indeed. And we are planning to record episode 100 as soon as possible, but what we're going to... Because obviously we've got something completely different planned for that. We are going to say...
Is it a man with 3 buttocks?
No, but we could probably arrange something. That's throwing me. Thanks. No, we're going to hopefully have episode 100 up by, I think, the 11th of May is pretty much the deadline for that, because if we put it up any later, it's going to be pointless. So sometime between kind of next week, May the 11th, there should be an episode 100. We will post on our Facebook and our Twitter and hopefully on the site as well when we know a bit more details about when that's going to go up. But yeah, stay subscribed if you're subscribing through iTunes, and you'll eventually get it. Our Twitter happens to be at Games4all, and our Facebook is facebook.com/Games4all podcast. Just
4 is the number.
4 is the number. Just to clear that up, first of all, we're going to get on with what we've been playing in a minute, but first we're going to talk about something that we're going to do. We're going to give away some codes today.
Yeah.
For those who may or may not know, the Ghost Recon Future Soldier beta is, as you're listening to this, going on right now on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
It's happening, people.
It is happening. So multiplayer beta, we're going to be giving away some codes. Now, how this is going to work is going to be interesting, because we've given away a few codes here and there for certain things, certain betas and things before. We've got our hands on 6 codes, 3 for Xbox 360 and 3 for PS3. There's a lot of 3s in there, by the way.
Yep.
What we're going to do is going to randomly throw these into the show. So we'll kind of be talking, and then all of a sudden we'll just put a code out. And it's going to go with 360 first, then PS3. So there's going to be 2 per segment. The first code we give out per segment is going to be a 360 code. The following one will be a PS3 code.
You can tell the difference because the 360 codes are like 15-digit, whereas the PS3 ones are 12-digit.
Yeah, they're a lot shorter.
Yeah,
something like that.
I bagged the PS3 codes.
This is going to be pretty interesting. So for those of you who haven't got on that beta yet, if you're interested, we've got some codes. Obviously, if you're listening to this and you put a code in and it doesn't work, you've been beaten to the kind of
crotch.
Beaten to the crotch. I was just going to say you haven't been successful, but okay, beaten to the crotch is fine. That'll work. Someone's got there before you, and so better luck next time. Maybe we'll try and get our hands on a few more codes and give them out over Twitter and Facebook. We'll see what happens there. Maybe put them on our website or something and just see if anyone redeems them or not. Okay, cool. So the only other thing to mention before what we've been playing is that yesterday was your birthday, and by yesterday I mean tomorrow as we're recording.
Yeah.
That's confusing. Happy birthday for tomorrow yesterday.
My head hurts. That could be the old age.
It could be.
Thank you very much.
No, you're like, well, it's kind of one of our last episodes. So
it's kind of good that we're giving out these beta codes then, because I'm in the generous mood. I know it's my birthday, so I should be getting gifts, but I want to give gifts to the listeners.
Hey, I thought this was my idea.
This was your idea.
Okay, fine.
But it's my birthday.
We'll pretend it's your idea. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what have we been playing? I think James has been playing the most.
Yeah, I've had a week off.
It shows. I'll be honest. Okay, well, just start from the top. Work your way down.
A couple of arcade games came out last week. I'll talk about both of them, but I'll start off with Skullgirls, which is the trial that I played. It's kind of an all-female 2D animated fighter.
Okay.
Pretty good. Nothing majorly unusual. It's pretty formulaic.
Okay.
Fairly sort of Street Fighter. I mean, you have various options. You can like pick one fighter or a team of two or a team of three.
Yeah.
but their power diminishes the more you have on your team.
Right.
So if you pick one fighter, they're like quite powerful and quite strong, and then as you pick two, they're like half as strong. And if you pick three, they're like 1/3 as strong. So if you
see you struggling with that,
yeah,
on the maps there,
yeah. But so say you pick a team of two, and somebody only picks one character. That character is strong enough to take on both, so it stays sort of fairly balanced. And
Okay.
you know, it's the sort of thing you think must be a nightmare balance-wise to sort out.
Yes and no. I mean,
it kind of works out. I mean, it's
you have to know fractions.
Yeah,
that's really it.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. It's nicely animated. You know, a lot of 2D games now in HD, they get the animation down, and it's very sort of fluid and cool. But you know, in the end, it is just a bunch of girls wiggling their tits around, punching the crap out of each other.
Okay.
And there's only so many fighters on it, so there's not like a huge variety. It's not like sort of Street Fighter roster of 24 odd characters. There's only like 8 of them, I think.
Okay.
So,
Well, I haven't seen. I've sort of heard of this, not really seen much about it. But what I do know is 4PRWW, 2X4D3, FXJ2F, 4PK6V, TGQ97.
that's a very good point.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
That went really well.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
This is going to be a fun show.
Yeah, you know.
But no, it's pretty good. It was enjoyable, but you know, at 1,200 points, a little bit pricey, I think.
Yeah, it does seem a bit steep.
Yeah. Something which I think is well worth the money is a game that's been in development for a long time, only 800 points. It's Fez.
Oh yeah, cool. I mean, bloody hell, yes. I mean, I remember seeing this probably 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Footage of this, and it looked pretty cool back then. It's like a little indie game that's kind of found its way onto Xbox Live, I think.
Yeah. And, you know, again, it's sort of, I want to say it's a 2D game, even though it's not, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it's 2D in nature, but kind of there's a 3D element.
Yeah, four-sided.
Yeah, crazy.
Trying to explain this. For a start, well, it's presented beautifully, as that real sort of 8-bit, 16-bit kind of feel to it, and you know, it's really sort of cute and well designed and everything, and you have various platforms and jump in, you have to solve puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles to solve, a lot of hidden codes, a lot of things that you need to like discover.
Speaking of hidden codes, sorry,
No.
go on.
See, that would have been a
It would have
perfect
been pretty
opportunity
fucking good,
to
mate.
put
I'll
it
just
into
edit
it.
it better.
But no, you get introduced fairly early on to the whole third dimension thing, which is slightly odd. Let me try and explain it. Say you're standing there and you need to get up so high to a high platform.
Yeah.
There's a platform right next to you, and there's a platform right on the other side of the screen. You can jump onto the platform next to you and then shift the perspective.
Yeah.
So through like forced perspective, that platform that was on the other side of the screen is now right next to you, and then you can jump on it. And
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it is. It's really hard to explain, but I think everybody should give it a go.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd get the time before coming over to play some of this, and
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't go into it.
But no, there's just so much there, so many little things, so many little bits and bobs, and you know, games like this, sort of logic puzzles and all that. I love that. It's the sort of I love these games. I have loads and loads and loads of them. This is probably one of the best ones so far. It's sort of equal to things like Braid and what's the one you liked? A really good one last year. The dark
Limbo.
Limbo.
Yeah.
That sort of indie kind of.
Yeah,
makes you
I think. Yeah, when I think of this game, I do think of more like Braid than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you've seen me play a bit, Michelle.
Yeah.
You don't like it because you like new games.
No, I'm not saying that. It just looks weird.
Weird, yeah, but
It reminds me of Amigo off Final Fantasy.
yeah, it's a very odd-looking creature.
Yeah.
But he has a fez, which automatically makes him cool.
Hence the name of the game.
The name of the game is Fez. It's kind of cool because the character comes up and you think, oh, why is this called Fez? Why is this called Fez? And you go up to the top and it's like the first thing you have to solve. And you get given a Fez, and it's this magical Fez that gives you the gift of the third dimension.
Sweet.
So that's where it gets its name from.
Okay.
So,
But no, it's really cool, but it does like to mindfuck you a little bit. Like, once you actually get the fez, I thought the whole game crashed.
Yeah, same. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
What the fuck just happened? It kind of all sort of seems to crash, and then you get like a PC, like Amiga sort of reboot screen, and the game starts again, and it starts off exactly the same as you did when you first started it, except this time you have the fez and you can do the whole dimension thing, so it kind of does like a fake crash and restart thing. But
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really nice design. Love the music, love the style, and it's massive as well.
Yeah, you were saying something about that to me.
Yeah, you kind of think, okay, I'll have to do this bit, then I have to go through that bit, and then because you go into like some sort of central hub, and there are like 4 doors, and you go through the first door, and you think, okay, yeah, there's 2 or 3 bits to do here, then go through the other door. It's going to be quite short, and you just go through that first door, and the areas just keep piling and piling and piling up, and kind of stretching on. You're kind of like, okay, sometime there's got to be an end to this, because once I've done all this, I need to go through the second door and do all that. So for 800 points, I think this is probably my Xbox Live Game of the Year so far.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. Okay.
I absolutely love it. I have got one more game to talk about, but I'll probably leave it till later. I'll let you guys.
No, that's cool. Throw it in now if you want. It's fine.
Okay. For my birthday, slightly early, I got The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it last week.
Yeah, this is game came out on PC last year, and it's now got a console port. I say port, it's been completely sort of rejigged for consoles, rebuilt with consoles in mind. The same game, but completely tweaked. If you have the game on PC, you got a patch on the 17th of April, which updated it with all the new content and everything that this has. Fucking love it.
Okay.
It was really good. It's
You care to elaborate on that a little bit?
well, no,
Maybe.
it's. I want to say it's like a mature game, but when you say mature game, that kind of has a stigma to it. It's like, okay, yeah, they're trying to shock you. It's trying to be all sort of bloody and gruesome, and it's kind of swearing and all that. And yeah, all that is in there, but it isn't mature for the sake of being mature. It's you need to be fairly intelligent,
right,
to understand
I
it.
kind of remember the first one coming out and a lot of controversy around that surrounding it, and
Yeah.
it didn't do quite as well. I don't know. I have a feeling it didn't do that well.
Well, no, it did alright. It was a
Right.
cult hit,
Okay.
and Witcher 2, that in itself was also a cult hit. It got like loads of Game of the Year and awards and critical acclaim and everything, but it is very much a cult sort of title because it is the sort of medieval fantasy and it has the whole sort of nerd stigma and everything. But hopefully, it coming to the consoles will kind of boost the sales up, and you never know. Maybe they'll go back and finish the Xbox port of the first game.
I don't know if there'll be much point, really.
No, but they did it with Crysis after Crysis 2 came out.
True, but there you go.
But no, how can I best describe this game? This game is the best bits of the Dragon Age series meets the best bits of the Elder Scrolls series thrown
Yeah,
in
it does kind of look a bit like the two framed together a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
with the sort of dark tone of Game of Thrones. So
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense, yeah.
yeah, you play a monster hunter for hire, and you get embroiled in this big sort of sprawling narrative. And in fact, so with the sort of Game of Thrones motif, I'm gonna say, imagine there's like a really sort of deep, complex political drama
Yeah.
that you watch, and it's like a TV show, and you watch it. Yeah, imagine coming in on the second season, not knowing anything about what happened, but trying to piece it together by what's told through the narrative. That's kind of what The Witcher feels like.
Right.
It feels very much like a sequel, like events happened before and things are going on, and there are people that you should know that you don't quite know,
Right.
and you have to pick it up. That's the only drawback of it, but it
Did not make any effort on the console version at all to kind of tell a bit of what happened in the first game, or?
well, no, there is sort of reiterations, and it does do it. It kind of drags you into the story, but it's sort of a journal sort of system where it explains what the characters and everything are. And
Oh, okay.
some people who don't like reading in games, for instance, are going to find this really tedious.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But it's deep, and it makes no apologies for being complicated and dark and quite difficult. With the console version, because a big criticism of the PC version is there was no tutorial. It just kind of like threw you straight into the deep end. But they've made like a small tutorial section, kind of like a self-contained thing. You start a new game, it says, "Oh, do you want to do the tutorial?" And yeah, you can do that.
Right.
And based on how well you do that, it grades like what difficulty you should have it at.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I got normal. And I'm like, this is quite a hard game. So I thought, normal, that's pretty good. Started playing it through as normal. It was getting my arse fucking handed to me. So I had to swap it down to easy, and it makes no apologies. There's hardly any hand-holding at all. It's very kind of... It tells you the story, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do and everything. But, there's lots of stories and, like, Easter eggs and side quests and stuff to do. I mean, some of the stuff in there... You basically, the whole premise is you are a monster hunter. So while you're going on your sort of quest for revenge and discovery and trying to solve the mystery, you can take contracts to like hunt beasts, and there are certain ways of doing that and certain methods, and you can pick different ways, and it gets you extra stuff. And, another thing with that, you sort of interact with people, and before in most RPGs, you kind of like there's like a morality meter.
Yeah.
Okay, you do good things and a bar goes up and it affects things later on. There's none of that here. The decisions you make feel like they have an immediate effect. Like in the very prologue sequence, there's this one guy where you can give him advice either to like one way or the other, and depending on which advice you give him, later on in the prologue he either dies and isn't there or lives and rewards you.
Right.
So it feels less like that you can be more ambiguous. You don't have to be good or evil. You just pick what you think is the right thing to do or how to react. So, license to be a bastard.
That's cool.
Is pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's certain freedom to that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And, it's pretty awesome. The mechanics and the combat, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Little things they've thrown in really sort of make me laugh. There's a bit in the prologue where you go around this corner, which you don't need to go down, and laying on a broken hay cart is this white-robed figure with a red belt, and looks very much like Altair from Assassin's Creed. And you sort of walk up to him, and then the main character does this voiceover. It's like, they never learn. And you kind of look up and you see they've obviously jumped into the haystack and it's crashed and they've died.
Yeah.
And then a little thing comes up, new ability learned, assassin. And that gives you, like, you do double the damage when you attack someone from behind. So it's little Easter eggs, but they actually contribute to the game.
Like abilities and
stuff. And there's loads of them to unlock by doing different things and different choices you make. You get rewarded for various different things. And it's really deep, fucking epic, the production values, considering this is like their second, the CD Projekt Red, it's a Polish company, it's their second game. It's the first game they've done for a console.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't look as nice as the PC version. It was never going to.
Yeah, obviously.
But, for an Xbox game, it's a fucking beautiful game.
Cool.
And, probably my game of the year so far.
Oh, fucking hell, jeez.
So, I'm pretty much done.
Okay.
That's me, I'm tapped out for the year.
Awesome.
I don't need nothing else until maybe Assassin's Creed 3. Then we'll see how that stacks up.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that's it. That's what I've been playing.
Yeah.
I have played a little bit of what you've all been playing. Oh, I'd like to point out Witcher 2, it's exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah.
And you won't find it on the PS3. Like, CHC7KDNJDGPJ. You won't find it on a PlayStation.
No, exactly.
But, it's still pretty good. I urge anybody who owns
obviously
an
it's on
Xbox,
PC as well.
It's on PC, but anybody, if you either have like a really decent gaming PC, get it on there. If not, you're not going to be shafted by it. It's in no way inferior.
Sweet.
At all.
Excellent. Righty-ho then.
And I have to say, most like PC ports and stuff onto an Xbox, you can feel that they're ports. This actually feels like it was made for a console. It controls really well.
Excellent.
So they've done a good job with that. Anyway, what have you guys been playing?
Well,
I've hogged the show. What do you expect? I have a week off. I'm going to play games.
It's like 20 minutes of rambling. Well, you guys actually came over to mine the other day and got a chance to play Infinity Blade on the iPad and on iPhone 4.
I love it.
Yeah. I mentioned the other week that I picked it up because it was on sale. It was 69p or 99 cents, depending on where you're from. I have no idea what it is.
Clucking like a baby chick. Are you going cheap?
Right. So, great. So, yeah, pick that up. I have played some of the second one, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I kind of briefly spoke about it last week or the other week, whenever it was. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing when you consider what you're playing it on.
Yeah.
The kind of graphical fidelity of it is probably the first thing that strikes you. And then the actual kind of gameplay kicks in, and it's kind of so simplistic, but can be really complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, all you're really doing is kind of blocking and waiting for your moment to attack, and then you do that, and then...
Or you don't, in my case. We'll go into that in a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are a few kind of rip-offs of this game that I've played that just don't feel quite the same experience. Yeah, I mean, it's quite mad. I mean, I think Epic Games have done something that I think a lot of other companies would really wish they do, and that's kind of they've embraced the mobile market a little bit more. They've made their engine run on iOS devices.
This is Unreal Engine.
Yeah, so. Basically. I mean, they can even run the engine in Flash now, so that it can be browser based now. You know, they've optimized and modified it so much that it can run on pretty much anything really. It's crazy. It's so crazy, and I mean, I just want to kind of wonder what you guys think, because like,
I mean,
I bigged it up the other week, but you guys have had the chance to play it and experience it.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I played on your iPad, and you had to go on the iPhone.
Well, I had to go on the iPad and the iPhone.
Yeah, because you went to you kind of run into a few issues.
I have dead fingers that don't seem to respond to touchscreen.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I know that's kind of like heat based, and I don't know whether the harsh, callous fingertips just don't register on a touch phone, but I was dragging my finger across that shit and it was doing nothing.
Fair enough.
I actually found it, I have to say, you said it was easier on the iPad.
I thought so, because you have more kind of you have a lot more space to do it. You know, you kind of,
it's not so much
you feel like you can
can
really sort of get into it more and kind of, you know, do more exaggerated movements and stuff with your fingers. And apart from you know, which you can't.
I'm completely opposite. My dead fingers, they need that small screen. I found it much easier to play on the phone.
The thing with me is that I've got rather small hands.
Yeah.
And your iPad compared to my hands is rather large. So trying to hold this and trying to figure out...
Yeah, it can be a little bit complicated. And
because obviously you've got the two arrows saying whether you're going to dodge left or right.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
Yeah, so
I have a problem with that as well.
Trying to do that and then, you know, going in for your attack. So you're holding it with two hands and then going into one.
You kind of
have to like hold, like, I don't know, sit on your lap or something.
Yeah,
and
I had it on my knees and I was like, right,
it is a little bit weird, but I don't know. I think as far as gameplay goes, like I say, it's something so the kind of idea, the core idea, is something so simple, and the execution of it is just something so amazing. And it's a lot of fun to play. It's addictive as well, because you know you get to a point where, oh my god, I'm going to get my ass handed to me. Oh yeah, fuck that up. But you kind of learn the rhythm of the kind of the battle, so to speak. And it kind of just spurs you on to, I'll just try it one more time. I'll just try it one more time.
We ended up staying on it for an hour.
Yeah, pretty much. You do, though, because it's just kind of, it's addictive in that way, that it's that whole, I know I can beat this motherfucker. It's gonna, you know, I know what I've got to do. I've just got to do it, you know. And it's kind of that whole, I'll just try one more time to get it done, sort of thing. It's pretty fucking cool, right?
It was sort of addictive to the point where you had it on the iPad, you had it running on the Apple TV, so it was on
TV, so you could all see
it. And you handed it to me, and I had to go on that, and then I handed it to you, and then you said, "Oh, here, try it on the phone, see how it runs on there, and see if you can control it better." And we were sat there probably for about 45 minutes, me on the phone, you, Michelle, on the iPad, just sort of playing along, and I have no idea what you were doing.
Seriously, if we were, you know, watching films, I could have happily stayed on that. Come on,
it's pretty fucking cool. I mean, the fact that you can run, it's so scalable. I mean, you can run it on a phone and then on something big like an iPad. And there was kind of that whole rumour a long time ago that they were going to bring it out for like the 360 and you could use Kinect with it. I mean, that would have been amazing. That probably would have been the best Kinect game ever if they brought out Infinity Blade for Kinect. Holy fucking shit, that would be awesome. But, you know, it's never going to happen, I don't think. It's a shame because they missed a trick there. But I will say this. We are talking about the first Infinity Blade. Infinity Blade 2, I have actually had a chance to play some of. And you think the first game looks good.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... I liken it to kind of... And this is probably the only real comparison I can make because of this running on the same engine. But Gears of War 1, you go play that now, it does look a little bit...
Yeah.
You can tell it's not as optimised as it could be, and then when you play Gears 2 and Gears 3, there's a big difference, a big jump in graphical fidelity and lighting and things like that, and that's kind of what you get with Infinity Blade 2.
So I really want to try now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I will pick it up, but it needs to drop in price a little bit. I know that it's expensive, I just can't be asked to buy it at that price, because I know it'll get cheaper at some point. But
when Infinity Blade 3 comes out.
Well, Infinity Blade Dungeons is coming out soon, I think, but that's more optimised for the new iPad 3.
Okay.
So, but yeah, pretty cool. I like it. I think it was well worth the purchase.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, it actually made me want to go out and get an iPad or an iPhone or something.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Righty hey then. Well, we're going to take a quick break, like we do after recording for freaking 25 minutes. We'll be back very shortly with this week's news.
Welcome back to part 2 of the show. Probably the last proper part 2 that we're going to do.
Well, it's the last news segment.
Yeah, the last news segment of Games4all.
Pretty much.
Well, let's think about that for a minute.
Okay. What we got?
We have stories. Michelle, if you please.
Okay, first story. Halo 4 dated.
6th of November. Let's move on.
Yeah, Halo 4. We kind of talked a bit about Halo 4 the other week. 6th of November kind of sounds about right. Usually they release Halo games in September, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange. But, fine.
It's been handed to a new company. They're going to want to make sure that they get it right.
I'm sure people are fine with this as release date. It's kind of a bit of news, not really a story.
It's in time for Christmas, but, you know, it's important to people. It's probably the biggest Xbox game of the year.
I am kind of like interested to kind of hear the reviews on it compared to, because obviously it's a big franchise, people have expectations. It could go in a completely different direction. They've got new people working on it. It's a different team. It's out of Bungie's hands altogether. Who knows? I mean, I'm just interested. I mean, probably won't play it. I'm not a Halo fan or anything, but like I
think the world knows.
They should do one now. But no, like I mean, I'm just interested to kind of see how this stacks up against the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Think of it as a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
that's me. I myself got the day marked on my calendar, and I'm on the edge of my seat in excitement to read those reviews and see if they fucked it up or not.
I think kind of part of us feels like it'd be kind of funny if they did.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and you know they've taken a big deal. I mean, Bungie kind of made this series huge, and they've handed it over to these new developers, and I think we can all collectively agree that, you know, we're sitting here wishing them failure.
Sort of. I mean, that sounds really bad, but like, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting if it was an awful game.
Yeah, I mean, if they do,
can you imagine the shitstorm?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But, you know, if you're working on the game, you're listening to this show, obviously we don't wish you personal failure, but, you know, it's kind of like, I'm not even going to go into it.
I think we've dug a pretty fucking big hole right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move on.
Move on to the next story, Michelle.
Okay, next story. K2P, 6X, T2KVX, MCQ, 3F, JV4, G2, R2GDZ.
Well, that's all well and good, but what does it mean for we gamers? Not a lot. So let's move on to the next story.
Okay, Bethesda and Arkane Studios unveil Dishonored.
Arcane,
should I say?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Dishonored. None of you watched this trailer, did you?
I mean, like, it's been a fucked up week, dude. I mean, you've been sat in your house doing nothing, looking at all the playing games.
Yeah, you've had a week off. Come on.
No, like I kind of heard rumblings of this or something out the corner of my eye. Maybe I don't know what it was. Yeah, I saw an advert or something. Or
was it your eye that was like
a link? Yeah, a link to a trailer. I never clicked on it.
No,
sorry.
Oh, well. Basically, Bethesda, they put up a screenshot saying, oh yeah, there's going to be some big news coming out tomorrow, and everybody thought it would be like DLC for Skyrim or whatever, like a big expansion.
Well, speaking about that, the Kinect thing's coming out this month, isn't it?
Yeah,
so we probably should have put this in as a story.
Probably. That would have made a better story than the Halo 4 one. But,
it's a bit late to change that now, right?
But this isn't... This is a Bethesda publishing, not Bethesda actual devs. It's Arcane Studios' next game. It's a CGI trailer, so there's no gameplay, but there are like a lot of CGI trailers, sort of hints as to what the game may be like. It gives a very much like a first-person shooter feel to it.
Okay.
If you watch the trailer, you'll see what I mean. There's a lot of the trailer, the action happens in the first person, and you see it. It's kind of a dystopian world where magic meets science, kind of thing. It's kind of like a dark assassination story thing. I get the feeling, or it's kind of implied by the trailer, that you play a convict who assassinated the emperor of the known world, and kind of shows a bit of how that happened. It's really weird. It does seriously reminded me of kind of like a dark Bioshock Infinite, whereas Bioshock Infinite is quite sort of like colourful, not necessarily light-hearted. It's fairly dark, but this is kind of more darker in tone and gritty, and it has that. It showed various things as kind of like science and gadgets and sort of steampunk almost, or more kind of clockwork, sort of punk. But there's this one bit which leads me to think that it might be sort of a first-person game. You kind of like see through the character's eyes going into this room, these soldiers kind of like standing in front of this emperor dude that you supposedly, well, you do assassinate, and you see it all in first person, and you like, well, he waved his hand and it kind of like stopped time, then fired 3 kind of like crossbow bolts at the 3 soldiers, then moved to the side, time carried on, and then these bolts killed the soldiers. So it kind of, although it's CG and you don't actually see any gameplay, it does kind of like imply what the gameplay would be like.
That's kind of good. And it does sound a little Bioshockish.
It does.
But then I don't think anyone's really tried to do anything too much like it.
No.
I mean, no, can't think of anything off the top of my head, but
it certainly has an interesting thing, and the last thing I want it to be is like a poor man's Bioshock.
Yeah.
But even though it's a CG trailer, it was pretty well done, pretty cool. I'm interested in this. Game's now sort of on my radar.
Cool.
So I'll be doing it.
I will try and watch this trailer just to see, because now you kind of piqued my interest, saying it's a bit like Bioshock.
Really?
Hey, look, well, no, I'm probably fuck no, because I'm gonna be playing Bioshock. But I'm just saying, I kind of want to see this now.
Maybe I should be a salesman.
No, you're right.
But so I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, next story, please.
Next story: Crysis 3 announced.
We knew this was going to happen. I mean,
it's happened quite soon though, considering like the gap between the first Crysis and the second one. This one's coming out fairly.
Yeah,
quick-ish.
I think the Crysis 2 came out about a year ago now. Yeah, but I mean, obviously it's only an announcement. It's kind of like, it's not like they're doing annual freaking
it's
Crysis games.
It's biannual at the moment. It's coming out in 2013.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess
there's a lot of like screenshots leaked and everything. And
I saw some of those.
Yeah, you say you play the same character. What was his name? Is it the Prophet or Yeah. And there's lots of pictures of him with like kind of the Rambo combat bow and arrow.
I think that's like a pre-order bonus.
Yeah. But there are a lot of screenshots of there, and everybody thought, oh yeah, he's going back to the jungle. Yes and no. Details have been released. It's still set in New York, but it's been encased in some sort of nanodome alien tech thing, and the whole place is turning into a jungle.
It's kind of a mashup of 1 and 2.
Yeah, literally. So although I got that from the
screenshots, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's Crysis. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I actually got to admit, I really did enjoy Crysis 2 a hell of a lot, and it's not just because, graphically it's an amazing game to look at, and the frame rate is amazing and everything. It was actually a pretty decent game. It was fun to play. I mean, it's kind of been announced that they've got plans to bring out more Crysis games past 3 as well.
Yeah.
They were talking about that 3 isn't going to be the end of things. They're going to try and... They've got plans for more games, but it does seem soon, but I don't know, does it? I don't know, not really. I mean, a lot of games do this, the 2-year kind of development cycle. You know?
Considering it was like the most pirated game, it's obviously very popular.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this could be the most pirated game of 2013. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, cool. Well, you know, I'm excited for another Crysis game. Like I said, I enjoyed the second one and what I played of the first one. I still need to I think I need to get the first one on Xbox Live and play it. But no. If they can kind of pull it off again, if they can do that whole thing where, if they can kind of tweak the graphics for console and make it even more, you know,
optimized. Yeah,
optimized. I mean, not that there was anything wrong with it. You didn't get a lot of frame rate issues or anything. It was a pretty smooth experience overall. But if they can build on that and kind of do something and make it that much more.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of bad blood from the PC crowd.
Yeah, well,
to them it actually looked when it initially came out, it looked worse than the first one, and then they had to wait like 3 months for a patch to really bring out the thing. So hopefully they'll have learned from that and they'll bring out kind of like the optimal PC version simultaneously.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see how it goes. But I'm interested in this. It sounds like it's going to be good.
I am. I need to play through the first and second one really.
Yeah.
It's the sort of game where I sort of started playing the second one. I thought, you know, this is really, really good, and then I heard the first one was coming out. I thought, okay, I'll put this aside, and just never got around to getting the first one. But I will do at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michelle, if you please.
Okay, the next story: Super Mario Brothers 4 incoming.
Yes. Excited?
No. No, I am. This is kind of cool. I mean, Super Mario Bros. 4. It's got a 4 on the end of it. It's kind of. Fuck, when did 3 come out? Like 89? No.
About a year after The Wizard.
I know where you're coming from with that. Yeah. Shit, we should internet me database that. But no.
When Fred Savage was still young.
It must have been like 90 or some shit. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a freaking while.
And there've been a lot of Mario games.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, a true sequel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, we recently had on the Wii, it's kind of, we've had the new Super Mario Brothers Wii edition, and they've said that at this year's E3, Nintendo have said that there's going to be a new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii U.
Cool.
So whether this is Super Mario Brothers 4...
This is still pretty much rumour at the moment.
Yeah, they've registered the domain supermario4.com, which a lot of people are presuming that's the 3DS title, but they have said that the new Super Mario Brothers game will be playable at E3 this year.
It's only a few months away until we find out. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to see, because obviously it's going on the Wii U, it's going to be in HD. That's kind of cool. What are they going to do with that? Maybe like.
Well, from the screenshots I've seen, there was a demo around. I think it was a CES, whatever, and they had the whole thing where you have your sort of. Mii's, yeah. You have their faces on like the overall bodies, on Mario, and actually kind of like import your face onto the characters, and like sort of co-op with Mario.
Yeah,
kind of like you had co-op with the Wii version, where you could be Mario, Luigi, and the Toads.
Yeah,
but you actually have yourself,
your Mii.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, you look at it and I thought, is this a Wii game? Oh no, it must be Wii U because. It's a lot sort of clearer, a lot more defined, obviously, for the new console. But, you know, Super Mario Brothers, that's always awesome.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, obviously, I think, like I kind of mentioned before, with the Wii U kind of being Nintendo's catch-up console, with it having a lot of the same titles that the 360 and PS3 are going to have, at least to begin with rumours of it being slightly underpowered compared to those consoles, it is the first party titles, the Nintendo stuff that people are going to actually want to play on it. That's going to be the excuse to go buy the console.
Your Marios, your Zeldas, your Metroids.
Exactly, So it'd be interesting to see them push a lot of that at E3 because obviously the console's coming out this year. They're going to need to kind of hype this a hell of a lot, and the way to do that would be with a hell of a lot of first party titles that look good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, be keeping an eye on this. This will be interesting. Last story, if you please, Michelle.
Yes, last story. Wasteland 2 finishes successfully Kickstarter campaign.
Yes, Wasteland 2. I wanted to mention this before when it first happened, but there were bigger stories kind of in the way. Obviously, following Double Fine's successful kind of adventure game Kickstarter campaign, where they raised like 3.3 million. Yeah, a lot of other companies are now doing this, doing the Kickstarter thing. One of them was for Wasteland 2. Now, Wasteland, the original game, is like a really sort of old PC RPG post-apocalypse thing, and it's actually the Fallout series was the spiritual successor to Wasteland.
Yeah.
So to have like a proper sequel to that original game, a lot of people are really excited about this. And there's been lots of like images and concept art and everything thrown around, and a lot of people are really excited for this because Wasteland was phenomenal, really, really phenomenal. So it's going to be kind of more like sort of the original Fallouts rather than the new Bethesda Fallouts and everything. But you know, this company In Exile, they've raised $3 million. They wanted sort of like $900,000 to begin with, so they've tripled that. So there's a lot of things here, but I can sense this Kickstarter thing becoming like a major, major thing in the game's development. Yeah,
hopefully. I mean, it's kind of a crazy idea, but I guess it works. It works.
I mean, everybody knows games are so expensive to develop now.
Yeah, but at the same time, with the kind of arcade titles that are coming out that are kind of more lo-fi stuff, like you say, like the Fezzes and the stuff like that, people kind of want those little games and stuff. So
I vote we call this episode the Fezzes.
Yeah, I know. But I tell you what, FG2F TLNQ PC9E.
Really? That is an interesting point. But
I think that point's moot.
Well, if you say so, I'm excited about Wasteland 2. I'll definitely be checking it out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
whether I'll be able to play it or not, I don't know.
There is that.
But you know, I can see a lot of games and a lot of companies doing this now. I mean, there's been talk because obviously another sort of old school PC RPG coming back is the Baldur's Gate one.
Yeah.
They're redoing enhanced editions of 1 and 2, and they said their ultimate goal, once they've done those, if those are successful, is making a Baldur's Gate 3. And if that happens, they'll be doing a Kickstarter as well.
Well, yeah, hell yeah.
Get funds for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, I can see this being the future where people have a chance to finance the games that they love, because there are always games that people are crying out for, saying, "Oh, why can't we have a sequel to this? Why can't we have a sequel to this?" And as the developers say, you know, you tell us how much you want it, and we'll make it.
It's kind of cool because at the moment it's just these small games, but I mean, it's probably a long stretch, but like, you never know. One day we could be funding like big console and PC titles, like full on, you know, like the sort of stuff we're getting now, like the Halo 4s and shit like that. You know, you never know.
I'm not sure.
It's a lot of fucking money, but
I'm not sure we'll ever be completely funding, but I'm sure we'll be like part funding them in some cases.
It's quite mad, yeah.
Where they're like, oh, okay, we're making this game, you want it to be really good, help us do that. And you always get people who are saying, yeah, I love this game, and they, you know, $15 here, $20 there, it all kind of mounts up. If enough people want it, then you've got a significant investment. And then they're more than happy to go out and buy the game afterwards, even though they've put money, especially if there's like little incentives and little prizes and stuff for everybody who did contribute. So I'm hoping to see more of this. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's proven to be worthwhile, successful.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
That's pretty much it for our final news segment.
Whoa. That sounds bad.
I know. I'm not going to kind of do a big speech or ceremony. I'm just going to say join us in part 3, where we'll be talking about this week's game releases and the UK sales chart.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We'll be talking about this week's releases, but first it's over to Michelle with the UK sales chart for the last time.
Yes.
Sorry I didn't make that point clear enough, but yeah, it's the last time you've been doing it.
Do I have to do it then?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. Alright, so at number 10 it's SSX. At number 9 it's Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games.
The last time you have to say that
ever. That feels good.
Woo! At number 8 it's Battlefield 3. At number 7 it's The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. At number 6 it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. At number 5 it's Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13. At number 4 it's Kinect Star Wars. At number 3 it's FIFA 12. At number 2 it's Mass Effect 3. And at number 1 it's FIFA Street.
FIFA fucking Street? Do you know what I have to say about FIFA fucking Street?
What?
GHW4T JQJHQ 9YM WG KXQ KK FJJ 3Z. You bastards.
I've heard different. Anyway, that's cool. I mean, at least Connect Star Wars is fucking going down. I don't give a shit what's at the top. Connect Star Wars is just awful. And didn't really deserve the number one spot that he got. I think just goes to show how fucking awful things are in this country. So yeah. Anyway, we've got some games coming out. Maybe we'll talk about them.
We've only got a couple. Neither of them particularly good. One of them's been out for ages on the various devices it was designed for.
Yeah, I have this on Mac as well, actually.
Yeah.
So
Angry Birds Space is out now in retail for PC. Now, you've played
in retail.
In retail, you can actually buy the disc.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure you can download it as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably easier.
Yeah, probably.
Fair enough.
But for people who don't believe in the internet,
I think it exists. To be honest.
Well, yeah.
I got some pretty hardcore evidence. I have it at home.
I don't want to know about your porn collection.
I'm just saying.
Your hardcore evidence.
I'm just saying, dude.
All 50 terabytes of
it. Get on with it.
Yeah, so that's out on PC.
I can't wait to talk about this next game.
Yeah. The only other major game out is Battleship on 360 and PS3.
Sorry, what?
Battleship.
Oh, is this by any chance to do with the film that's come out from Hasbro and that?
Yeah, this is the game based on the film based on the game.
Fucked up.
Yeah. To be honest,
can you play as Liam Neeson in this?
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Maybe Rihanna.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
All I know is there's ships and there's aliens.
And they battle.
To be honest, I probably would have been more excited if it was like a downloadable version of
probably
the original Battleship game.
You can buy the Hasbro Family Game Line that's got Battleships on it, so that's probably both getting that. That's probably cheaper as well.
Yeah, and probably better because these movie tie-ins. So yeah, that's the last ever.
I could give my one-word review of what I think this game is. Battle shit. There you go.
Genius. So yeah, that's kind of the last this week's releases.
So that's on 360 and PS3. Not that anyone gives a shit because no one's going to fucking buy it.
No.
Actually, it could be number one next week.
Yeah. Michelle, do you have any last words?
Yes, I have JG7EPANMMT2J.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Absolute bullshit this game's going to be. Going to be completely crap.
Yeah. So, thank you for... Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening for the last 90... I doubt anyone...
Thank you for Jesus Christ.
Thank you for listening for the last 99 episodes. Not that many people probably have been listening from the beginning, but... Thanks to those who have, if they're out there.
Fan in Sudan.
Yeah, you never know. If
I've not heard from him. I hope he's alright.
He may not be listening anymore.
Okay.
I think we may have upset him. Obviously, we have one more episode to go. It's not going to be the typical episode. We've got a few little things planned. Hopefully, our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network will be joining us for said episode. You can check them out at undergroundgeeknetwork.com. Yeah, they do a show every... let's plug them a bit.
Yeah.
They do a show every 2 weeks, every fortnight, an audio podcast about everything geeky. They talk about video games, much like we do. They talk about manga and anime, much like we don't. And comic books, which we also don't talk about very much, but occasionally.
And various other sort of pop culture
all
icons.
Sorts of stuff, really, yeah. So,
and
great show.
They also talk about, like, Power Rangers a lot, and the whatever, the Japanese...
Super Sentai,
yeah. A lot of those. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, a lot of that going on. Pokemon and stuff,
yeah.
So please check them out. Good friends of ours. They're going to be on our next episode, which should be up around whenever it's fucking done. I mean, it's going to be up before by the 11th
end of the world.
By the end of the world. By the 11th of May. That's when we can promise it to you. Because if we haven't recorded it by kind of the 10th... well, you know. So we'll cobble something together if everything falls to shit. But yeah, so whatever happens, there will be episode 100 by May the 11th. So we are going to be taking quite a few weeks out. We apologise for that, but we kind of need to get some things together, kind of organise a few bits and pieces to get to kind of put our episode 100 together. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
Pack up our desks. And
Yeah,
put everything in those boxes and.
Well, now that you mention it, James. No, it's all good. Also, time just to mention, because we've been giving out codes all episode, you may have noticed. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Notice.
Keep blacking out occasionally, and then but
I think if you listen back very carefully, you might hear some subtle clues.
You may hear some certain numbers and letters thrown together. So we've been giving out codes for 360 and PS3 for the Ghost Recon Future Soldier beta, the multiplayer beta that's on right now. It started yesterday, as you're listening to this. So, please just, if you get the chance to try and get on it. If not, I mean, there's other ways to get on. I'm sure there's plenty of other places giving out codes. We'll hopefully grab a few more and try and give them out somehow over Twitter and Facebook maybe. But other than that, if you've got a copy of Splinter Cell Conviction, you can download it through that as well. So, if you're into the Tom Clancy Ghost Recon series, it looks alright, it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It comes out, I think, May 25th, something like that. So, end of May, roughly around that time. It looks cool. I'm going to be playing a bit of it over the weekend and that, and kind of see what that's all about, and maybe mention it on episode 100, we never know. Probably not.
So, if you're lucky enough to actually manage to get one of these codes...
I mean, if you put the codes in and they don't work, it means somebody else got there before you. So,
or we've read them out wrong.
No, we've read them out correctly.
Yeah, I made sure of that.
Yeah.
But, so maybe you'll see people on there.
Maybe.
I didn't get a code, because my code's been given away.
So?
I wasn't that fussed anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's what I figured. Okay, well, thank you to everybody who's listened to our show since we started way back 2010.
Jesus.
Yeah, nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years we've been going. We're kind of... we've talked about it before, but I think I'll go into detail now. Like, we're kind of ending the show because we feel like, it is kind of a lot of effort to get together every week, and kind of... It is and it isn't. It's still fun to do. We still enjoy doing it, but there's still that kind of... We've pretty much been going non-stop for 2 years now, and we feel like we deserve a big break from it, and kind of... Just a kind of...
Recharge.
Yeah, recharge and refresh, and we've got things going on in our private lives and stuff that, we need time for, and not saying the podcast gets in the way of that so much, but yeah, it gets in the way of that a little bit. It doesn't really. But it's kind of like, it'd be nice to kind of not have to worry about putting a show together every week and just kind of get on with our lives a little bit. But saying that, we are planning on doing another show.
When things calm down.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of February, March next year, 2013. We can't give too many details. I mean, other than it's a video podcast that we're going to be working on. It's going to be fucking awesome. We got some fucking really cool ideas. We're still working on what it's going to be called. So that may be something we need to sort out pretty soon. But, we are working towards another show, and we kind of, we've learned a lot from doing this show, from doing Games4all, and kind of that we're going to take on board when we start the new show. And yeah, I mean, I've been podcasting since 2005, so I've learned a lot about doing this stuff, and
I've learned a fair bit just doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of me thrown in at the deep end.
It's all fucking hell. It's all a learning.
I've learned not to hit the mic.
Yeah, I try and do that. It doesn't fucking work. Everything is a learning experience, and I think I've probably learned more on this show because we've done so much of it than I have on anything else, and it's all valid, very good information and knowledge to have, and we're going to pass that on to our next show, which, like I said, we're going to start next year around kind of end of February, beginning of March. What we will be doing, though, in the meantime, obviously we're working towards episode 100. Once that's gone up, at the beginning of June, I think we're going to kind of take the website offline, so you only have a few weeks to download that episode 100. Otherwise, you'll have to go on either our YouTube or Facebook or wherever to download that episode or listen to it. But what's basically, we're going to switch over to Tumblr blog. Sorry, I couldn't say it properly. Tumblr blog, and we're going to be putting out a few little videos here and there. We've got a few ideas of things we might do, just kind of short, like 10-minute videos, maybe 5-10-minute videos here and there, but not very regularly. Kind of maybe once a month sort of thing. Kind of a roundup of what games are about and that kind of thing, and so we'll be doing kind of mini webisode things.
Yeah.
And that'll be on our blog, which is going to be thegames4allpodcast.tumblr.com.
TUMBLR.
Yeah, so please check there. Please check our Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast, and our Twitter, which is @Games4all, or twitter.com/Games4all. We're going to be posting information about where you can find any content that we'll be putting out after episode 100. And obviously, more information about our new show when that's up and running, which is not going to be for a while, but podcast@Games4all.com. You can contact us on there for a little while. We are asking, hopefully, if any listeners are interested, you can ask us questions that we'll hopefully answer on episode 100. That's something you can do right now. Head over to our Facebook or our Twitter, and if you want to, or even just email us. If you've got something you want to know that you think we might be able to answer, please feel free to ask.
We are quite knowledgeable.
I mean, kind of like to do with the show, hopefully, would be good. But thank you.
We know a few things about the show.
Yeah, a few things. So thank you very much to everyone who's ever downloaded an episode, supported us in any way, who's been involved with the show, who's been a guest on the show, who's told people about it. Anyone who's affiliated with us. Thanks to HostGator for being pretty fucking awesome, giving us the best kind of web hosting we could even imagine, because they've been fucking amazing, to be honest. So helpful. Way better than iPage when we first started.
iBitches.
Yeah, the iBitches. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
From the back of the room there. We've had our fair share of little dramas and stuff here, but the switch over to HostGator was probably the best thing we did.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody in China who seems to download our episodes. For some fucked up reason, the month of October last year, we did nearly 4 terabytes worth of downloads, and the majority of that was from China. Fuck knows why. Maybe they're
gathering evidence against us.
Yeah, possibly. yeah. Who knows? But thank you to everybody, basically. And I probably will say all this shit again in episode 100. Probably have a few beers in me by then. It probably sound a little bit more slurred and a little bit more emotional.
Buckets at the ready.
But it's not the end of us by a long way. So hope you've enjoyed the last 99 episodes, and really hope we get episode 100 done and kind of out so that you guys can kind of listen to that and enjoy the last episode. But we've been the Games4all podcast, and it's kind of a sad moment, but it isn't the end just yet. So
I'm gonna cry.
But on that note, have a great weekend.
Bye.
Goodbye. We'll see you soon.
Later.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4all.podcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com.